Hello there my RPG lovers and welcome to another video. There are a few reasons why I decided to get a Nintendo Switch now, but why should you care about that? Good question. Well, actually you should, especially if you're one of those people who voted get it when I posted this. Yeah, you convinced me to get this piece of shit. I'm just joking, I'm loving it so far. The Switch is basically the first console I ever bought, ever since Sega Genesis. Well, technically, I didn't buy Sega Genesis either, I got it as a gift. Only later to realize it wasn't actually an original Sega Genesis, it was a cheap imitation or something. Yeah, thanks a lot, Ant. But I could still play Mario and other games, so whatever. Shortly after that, I somehow convinced my family to get me a PC because of school. Yeah, school, sure. The rest is history, I guess. I got addicted to games and especially RPGs. So you're probably thinking I got a Switch because of some exclusive games on this platform, and you would be right. Well, kinda. While I definitely plan to do some content for RPGs and games in general on the Switch, the straw that broke the camel's back was actually Dragon's Dogma. If you're following this channel, you probably know how much I love this game. Just the fact that I can play it on a portable device was actually really appealing to me for a long time. Even though that basically means that I can play it on my couch, which is like 2 feet from my PC, but anyway. Apart from that game, we also have Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning coming to Switch. So that's like 2 RPGs where you can easily spend a couple of 100 hours on a portable device. I mean, sure, the performance can't even come close to what you can get on the PC, but that's not the point. And that's coming from someone who is kinda spoiled when it comes to high frame rates, because like I said, I only played games on my PC for the most part. The thing is, back in the day my PC wasn't actually that great, and I played and completed a bunch of games that worked really bad on my PC, like 20 frames per second bad. So even though these days I'm used to play all these games in very high frame rates, I'm perfectly fine with 30 FPS on the Switch. I understand why some people are not, but there you go. Speaking of Kingdoms of Amalur, I managed to get a review key for the Switch version. I obviously can't show you the Switch footage before the embargo lifts, but you can expect a video about this port soon. Besides those 2 RPGs, I also immediately bought Skyrim. I gave Todd my money again, man. A couple of my most successful videos on the channel are Skyrim combat mod videos, so obviously I played Skyrim for god knows how long with crazy amount of mods. And whenever I tried to start a vanilla playthrough on the PC without any mods, I just couldn't do it. Simply because I always start adding just a couple of simple mods to improve some parts of the game, and before you know it, I end up making a huge mod list again. I just can't help myself. The thing is, I still think the vanilla Skyrim is worth playing, especially when you can have it on a portable device. Motion controls can be fun in this game for a while, but definitely not for long play sessions. Gyroscope aiming is a really nice addition to the gameplay, although it can feel a bit clunky in Skyrim. It's definitely inferior to Zelda Breath of the Wild gyroscope controls, that's for sure, but still, it's definitely usable. And speaking of Zelda Breath of the Wild, it's the first game I bought on the Switch. I definitely plan to do a full review for this game, so you can stick around if you want to hear my complete thoughts. When it comes to exclusive games, or especially RPGs on the platform, I want to get into Xenoblade series and do some content for those games. Although I'm not really sure where to start, so I kinda need some help here. I'm pretty sure I should get Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition first, or just go with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 right away. If you are familiar with this series, leave some comments with your suggestions. Quite a few people recommended this series to me, so I'll definitely check it out. Another JRPG I plan to get is Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age. Now let me start by saying that I'm not a huge fan of Final Fantasy games, but there is a reason why I want to play this game in particular. When it comes to older Final Fantasy games, I really wanted to like them, but I guess they're just not for me. Then I tried playing Final Fantasy XII on my PC with PlayStation 2 emulator. But something weird happened back in the day and I couldn't continue playing for some reason. Even though I spent just a few hours with this game, it really clicked with me. No pun intended. I know a lot of people consider this game to be a black sheep in the series, but honestly I don't care about that. I think now is a perfect chance to get back into it, and that's probably what I'm going to do eventually. Remember when I mentioned that post about getting a Switch? Well, in that same post, I also mentioned Monster Hunter Rise as one of the reasons why I want to get this console. The only Monster Hunter game I played was Portable Third by emulation on PC, and I'll be honest, I didn't really like it at first, but after I gave it another chance, I spent around 300 hours playing it. Every experienced hunter would probably say those are rookie numbers, but there you go. Now you might be wondering why I didn't play Monster Hunter World on PC, and honestly I don't have a good excuse for that. I definitely had plans to play it, but it was never on top of my priority list, so I kept pushing it back. I just checked the release date for this game and I honestly find it hard to believe that it came out almost 3 years ago, like what? This game is still on my to-do list, but I'm actually really excited for Monster Hunter Rise, so that's my priority I guess. Near the end of this month I should have a full review ready for Monster Hunter Rise. This is one of those rare games where grinding is actually really fun because the gameplay loop is so good, which basically means that I'm probably going to no-life this game when it comes out. Ys 9 Monstrum Nox is another action RPG that I'm really interested to play and review on the Switch, but is still not out in Europe. So I plan to pick up Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana, even though I have played and completed this game on my PC. This is definitely my most favorite JRPG series, and I wish we could get more of them on the Switch. Currently there are only 2 Ys games on the Switch, Origins and Ys 8. I would really like to see Memories of Celceta and especially Ys 7 on the Switch, which is my most favorite game in this series. So yeah, I'm really excited for Ys 9 Monstrum Nox, but I guess I'll have to wait until summer to finally play it. Speaking of games that I would like to see on the Switch, there is one particular action RPG that would be perfect for this console. And that's Grim Dawn, my favorite Diablo-like action RPG. What's interesting about that, the Switch already has Titan Quest, the game that runs on the same engine. So I'm pretty sure that technically it would be possible to port Grim Dawn on the Switch as well. But then again, Grim Dawn has a lot more gameplay systems and depth in general, so maybe that would be a problem. And Crate Entertainment is a small studio, so this port is probably not gonna happen anytime soon. Or ever, I don't know. Grim Dawn is without a doubt a superior game to Titan Quest, so I don't see myself playing Titan Quest that much anymore. I'm speaking about playing it for long periods of time, but that doesn't mean it's not worth playing at all. Far from it actually, because the campaign in this game is really fun. It's hard not to like the Greek mythology setting, but when it comes to the gameplay systems, Grim Dawn is definitely a spiritual successor to Titan Quest, because it took the same formula and improved it a lot.
If they ever wake up, send them to me. If they don't, bury them deep with the others.
In all seriousness, I'm really enjoying my time playing on the Switch, and it's getting really hard to get any work done around this thing. But that only means that you're going to get more content on the channel, so yeah. This was actually supposed to be a special episode for 50k subscribers, but I'm obviously late for that. Anyway, thank you guys for 50k subs, it still feels unreal and I couldn't be more grateful. Cringe. Cringe. I'm not recording these types of videos very often, so I kinda don't know what to do with my arms. The last video I did with this concept was about the PSP I got last year, so it's been a while. Oh wait, so the Switch is not exactly the first console I ever bought. Huh. Yes, yeah. Don't forget to subscribe for more RPG content. If you want to support the channel in the long run, consider becoming a Patreon or a YouTube member. You can get your name on the end credits, as well as some other perks like early access to videos, Discord roles, my plans for future content, etc, etc. That will be all, and I'll see you in the next one.